World Health Organization describes dioxin as some of the most world's dangerous environmental toxins.
Synthetic paneer is being used. In fact, it's being made with palm oil, with detergents, urea, starch, industrial whiteners, all chemically engineered to look and taste just like real paneer.
And now I want you to imagine this, that they are mixed in the most favorite part of our vegetarian meal is paneer. And the most scariest part is that they are carcinogenic. In simple terms, it causes cancer. And that is why dioxins are called persistent organic pollutants, which is POPs, meaning that they take a long time to break down once they are in the environment. And so, what if I told you that the paneer you eat yesterday may not even be real milk? It is a concern. And what if the soft white block on your plate was made using chemical starch, detergent-like substance, synthetic fats, and sometimes compounds never meant for the human body? So the food safety experts and the public health researchers have repeatedly warned about the dangers of food adulteration. But you know, some of the reports, adulterated dairy products mentioned detergent residues and industrial contaminants. Looking at these substances may include surfactants such as sodium lauryl sulfate, also known as SLS, a chemical commonly used in cleaning and industrial products. Isn't it that crazy? They're shockingly used in personal care products like shampoos, body washes, and toothpaste, detergent washing liquids, laundry detergents, all-purpose surface cleaners and floor soaps, carpets, cleaners, and stain removers. Now imagine this SLS you are eating in the name of paneer. I'm really shocked that the certain toxic environmental contaminants like dioxins are also have been widely studied for their human effects on human health. I'm really shocked. Why do they need to do this? Because research has associated long-term toxic exposure with inflammation, liver stress, kidney damage, hormonal disruptions, oxidative stress, and possibly the risk of cancer. And for all you out there who are listening to me, the most scariest part is a lot of people can't even tell the difference, including me as well. But we're going to do differently. Today we're going to dive deep into the dark reality of fake paneer. And you know how it is made, why it's dangerous, and what repeated consumption could possibly do to your body. I'm not here to increase fear in you by creating these content. But instead of take this as an awareness, paneer is one of the most loved food in India. Protein rich, soft, comfortable, and affordable. But from restaurants to street food to weddings, paneer is everywhere. How crazy is that? But you must have studied in your college that when demand exploded, becomes bigger than supply, adulteration enters the market because they don't have enough to manufacture. And some manufacturers discovered something terrifying. Fake paneer is cheaper to make, but highly profitable to sell. You must have seen how many people they do that to make profits. But how about understanding them in terms of money? to make 1 kg of real paneer, you need about 6 to 7 liters of full cream milk, which means you need a high quality buffalo milk. At current milk prices, the raw milk alone costs roughly around 300 to 350 before factoring into labor, fuel, and processing. So the raw material cost is roughly around 300 to 350 per kg. Fake paneer, my head is lost by looking at this. It's about 30 rupees to 120 rupees per kg. And surprisingly, when you sell in the retail price, the real paneer costs around 450 plus per kg. Comment below what your state sell paneer per kg for. Is it 450 plus or under 450? So let's move on. Fake paneer. You must have not realized this. 200 to 250 rupees per kg. This is shocking. I'm totally surprised. A difference of 200 to 250 rupees difference from fake to real. And that's where the danger begins. More profits, higher the danger. So the real paneer is simple. We all know how to make it, isn't it? You heat up the milk, let it settle, and then squeeze the lime juice with the help of a spoon. You can add the lime juice. If you don't want the lime juice, you take equal amounts of water and vinegar. Dilute it nicely, mix it well. Then with the help of spoon, you put in the milk and let it settle. You will see that paneer separates from whey. That's the time you strain it. You separate the whey from the paneer. Let the paneer settles for 30-40 minutes. And there you go. You've got the most finest, softest, and safest paneer made at home. But you know what? I was surprised. Fake paneer has a different story. Absolutely different. Now listen to this. Some fake versions are created using synthetic starch by using cheap starch, synthetic milk, palm oil, detergent like emulsifiers, artificial whiteners, low quality fats, chemicals to improve texture. Is this how we're living our life? Some are not entirely fake, but heavily adulterated. I mean to say, you must have seen your dairy. When you go to the dairy and they give you milk, sometimes they say that the milk is quite thin as water. That's the adulteration I'm talking about. Very little milk mixed with cheaper substance. To look like paneer, they have to add the little amount of milk. Enough to fool your eyes, enough to fool your tongue. Why am I saying this? Because the texture needs to be soft. If they don't add milk, how can it be soft? They need the base of milk. And then they use those chemicals to turn it a little softer. So your brain judges food visually first. If it looks white, soft, fresh, and holds the shape, your brain assumes this is paneer. In neuroscience, we call it prediction error. The brain assumes things before checking the facts. So that's exactly what adulteration targets. What they do is they modify texture engineering. Second, manufacturers know the secret human trust appearance, which means the appearance need to be trusted. That's the modification of engineering. This is crazy. And that's why fake paneer looks like smooth, rubbery, and even extremely white, unnaturally uniform. You must have seen when you make paneer at home, it's unnaturally uniform, and they do that purposely. They try to do that. And sometimes it even survives frying better than real paneer. How crazy that is. The chemicals are sustaining it. And they're making looking like this is real. Because chemicals can imitate structure. And the real reason behind all of this is that chemicals can imitate structure. Put that in your head. So now that we have learned everything about this, inside out, the real concern that I made this video is what happens to our health when we repeatedly expose to fake paneer. What happens to our health? What happens to our body, our brain? If low quality oils, synthetic fats, or contaminants are repeatedly consumed, the body experiences stress. Why? Because it has to undergo with a lot of cleansing. And that requires a lot of energy and stress that needs to go within your body. Now, and this doesn't happen overnight. It's slowly, like a slow poison, slowly increase oxidative stress. Second, inflammation. Third, digestive irritation. And over long periods, poor dietary quality may affect. You must have seen metabolism gets weaker because you feel that there's a lot of indigestion. You have gastritis, stomach pain, bloating, diarrhea. These are metabolism problems. Then stress on the liver can increase fatty acid liver, that is non-alcoholic liver fatty acids. Then cardiovascular health, gut function gets weaker. And some of those mixtures also interfere with how cells handle inflammation and energy. You must have heard about mitochondria that converts nutrition into energy. If you put in this adulteration, how your food converts into energy, that's the question. And if it doesn't, then your brain is extremely sensitive to nutrition quality. Something that happens to the gut, it affects the brain. And the brain says something is wrong in your stomach. The brain consumes massive energy every day. And if the poor quality processed fats goes inside your stomach, remember this, it may influence mental fatigue, brain fog, low energy, inflammatory pathways, weak memory, frequent headaches, mood swings, and this all happens after long-term use. But I'm saying this, that doesn't mean that one meal can destroy your brain. I'm not saying that. But repeated low-quality food exposed over years, and that's where the real trouble begins. And that's what I wanted to let you know, that the human body is adaptive. But adaptation also have limitations. So let me be realistic. Not every restaurant uses fake paneer. Not every street vendor is dangerous. But my concern is extreme cheap paneer raises important questions. And why people are not raising those questions? They should, they have the right. And what are those questions? If someone says paneer for rupees 20 to 25 per 100 grams, is that valid? That is a red flag. And the second thing is that I want you to observe, if a dairy farm or if a dairy shop that's selling paneer never runs out of paneer, and they say if you have paneer 24/7, you can come anytime, that's the red flag. Why? Because real paneer takes time to prepare and they have a short shelf life. If they make it today and it's not been sold completely, imagine they're selling the same paneer next day. And still, we're not questioning. We buy it. Even if it's hard, we still eat it. That's dangerous. And the real reason is real milk has cost. Real protein has cost. If you buy a whey protein, isn't it cheap or is it expensive? Paneer is also expensive. And if someone is unbelievably cheap You should ask yourself, why? Okay, I am here. If this guy's selling cheap or never runs out of paneer, why should I buy from him? And there's another question that I want you to ask yourself. Sometimes restaurants buy bulk low-grade paneer because customer cannot identify it after heavy spices, frying in gravy. Why do I need to say this? Because in science, the tongue recognizes. The sharp receptors of the tongue will recognize the masala first, the fat, and then comes the texture, like how is it? So no authenticity is guaranteed, isn't it? And that is why awareness matters. Because you cannot say in the restaurant and say, I want to test the paneer. And also, there is no perfect home test. Why do I need to say this? Because only in lab you'll come to know whether it's fake or it's real. There is also some good news to you all that you can still manage to identify is it fake or real. But this requires a consciousness and awareness. What are those warning signs that I want you to let you know? Understand these signs, that rubbery-like texture, extremely chewy structure, or unnatural whiteness, sour chemical smell. If you take closely and you smell that paneer, you have that sour taste. It's very unnatural. It's like a fermented smell that's coming from the paneer. Stop it and don't buy it. Then paneer that doesn't crumble naturally, take it in a hand. And if you even try to crumble it, it just sticks with you, but it doesn't crumble. It has a rubbery structure. And that's not it. Strange aftertaste. Something different when you taste it. It's not taste like a paneer. It's more like a rubber, like a chewy rubber. You get at the back of the pencil, you get those rubber, the eraser, when you put it in your mouth. It's so chewy and it has a very weird texture. It's similar to that. So the real paneer usually feels softer and more natural because of the natural sweetness when you taste it. It is crumbly, but it has like slight sweetness in it. And some people also test from starch using iodine reaction. But home testing is not always fully reliable. Like I said, if the paneer has some kind of fat on it or some oil, the iodine tincture will change that color only that area, not the whole paneer. So how can you say that it's fake? So what we need to do is, the safest approach, that my personal thing is, buy from trusted sources. If you have someone who's selling paneer for 50 years, no problem. Or my recommendation, make paneer at home. Homemade fresh paneer, nothing like that. And you know what it requires. Simple ingredients: milk, vinegar, lime juice, heat, and time. Simple. This disturbing. So the next thing is, what's the psychology behind food adulteration? We know how to make paneer. Everybody knows. Then what's the psychology behind these adulteration? So understand this. When profit becomes more important than human health, trust collapse. So imagine if someone sees that I have the option to do the adulteration, I'm not going to get caught. The mind becomes toxic. How is that? If today I have per 100 grams, I have about, let's say, 5 rupees or 10 rupees profit. Example. Then with fake paneer, I can make about 15 rupees or 20 rupees profit. So the mind gets boggling, like, no, I want to make fake paneer because I can gain profits. This is the psychology behind the adulteration. Food is supposed to nourish life, not manipulate human health for profits. And that's my concern. People eat believing that they're feeding their family nutrition. But sadly, Nobody expects deception on their plate. And the most shocking and concerning part is, if your kid is eating fake paneer, a young child, the life is ruined. Every now and then they'll complain about stomach upset, stomach ache, diarrhea, and even bloating, gastritis. And if it doesn't stop there, then a kid will have problems with cognition, poor concentration, weaker memory, and development delays. I don't want to put any fear. This is awareness, please understand. And awareness means protection. You don't need paranoia. You need observation. And ask questions. I keep saying this. Check quality. Know what enters your body. Because your brain, your metabolism, your health are built from what you repeatedly consume. One fake product may destroy one person, but years of low quality food choices across society, that changes public health. And maybe the most important question is not. And so I want you to think the most important question is nothing about fake paneer exists or not. The real question is, how much of modern food have we stopped questioning? I want you to stay aware, stay sharp, and protect your brain. And lastly, before buying the paneer, think about this. Your body can survive junk for some time, but survival is not the same as health. And lastly, take care of your brain, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you next time on a new video. Thank you.